Hello people and welcome back to my channel. This is Maureen Hilda, God's Own, and I'm so excited to have you back here. Just in case you missed out on our previous episode, which was welcoming you back and also informing you officially that we are back with the best things in store, with great inspirations and great mentorships, information that is not going to leave you the same. So we'll be back. I'm so excited to have you back, and this month is our month of talking about prayer. We are tackling prayer, going deeper into it to understand it. Yeah, we believe everybody knows about prayer, but maybe what can we change? What can we do right? All these things and more will be coming up in this episode. And with me, I have a very special guest. Yes, so just keep tuned. Do not go anywhere. Yeah, I just encourage you, if you have not yet subscribed, my friend, don't miss this. Yeah, please click that button, subscribe, also like, comment, tell us what is your experience, what are you learning from this episode. We would be so blessed to hear from you. And of course, I encourage you to share. Now with these episodes which you're going to be tackling, I encourage you to share with someone. Probably someone out there needs this information. Maybe this is something that is going to change their life. So I encourage you to like, comment, and also subscribe. And yes, so we are looking at prayer. I don't know how you understand prayer, but I'm excited to introduce to you a very special guest. This is the team leader. Yeah, talk about my pastor, the pastor of Victory City Church, Raga, and he'll give us also more details. Please welcome with me, Pastor Moses Nsubuga.
Thank you.
Yes, Pastor, you're so welcome.
Thank you, Maureen.
Yeah, thank you for honoring my invitation. I know you're very busy and you have a tight schedule.
Oh yeah, I had to. I wanted to come.
Okay. Yeah, wow. Thank you so much, Pastor.
You're welcome.
Yes, I hope you're doing well. Maybe you can quickly introduce yourself to the people watching out there to get to know more about you.
Okay. Hi, Maureen's crowd. God's Own. So my name is Moses Nsubuga. I'm married with a son, Saya. I love God.
Yes.
Maureen asked me to come and have a few conversations with you guys. So I'm excited to walk this journey with you and to see what God is going to, speak and bring up. Yeah.
Amen. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a very wonderful pastor, and we learn a lot about, actually, specifically, I remember in one of our prayer meetings, actually, I was telling him that he spoke about something that really changed my perspective about prayer, and that was something called quality prayer. That it's not really about how long you pray, but the quality of the prayer. It can be short, but when you're not distracted, and many of these things is going to tell us. So, Pastor, even before we go into the quality prayer, tell us, what do you understand about prayer? Maybe for a Christian out there, a simple Christian. Let's start with a simple Christian who is not yet so deep. And yeah, so what is basically prayer?
So for me, prayer is simply conversations with God.
Wow.
And we can live a prayer life every day and every second of our lives.
Amen.
You don't need a specific place to go to and like say, I'm praying, because anytime you're in conversations with God, you're praying. Wow. Yeah, so that's a very sacred thing, so we branded it prayer. But just to really give it a gist, that this is a separate thing from any conversations you would have, because this is a conversation with a spiritual being. But now our faultiness to this is then we only keep it for that time when you want to go and pray. But not knowing that, as I'm having a tea, a cup of breakfast, I can literally have solid conversations with God.
With God.
Yeah, today I was having solid conversations with God. My wife found me lying on the bed. They came into the bedroom, and I was really having solid conversations. This was silent but real solid conversations with God.
Wow.
And I was battling within my soul and within my heart. Things were going on, and I was telling God, this and this. And they came in and they found me doing that. So they thought I was lying down, and then I just started to tell them what I was talking to God about. And they're like, "Oh, you were praying?" And like, I was talking to God. Yeah. So in simple terms, talking to God.
Talking to God.
Yeah.
Amazing, Pastor. And I would like to start from that, actually, from something you said. So, because in our own understanding, we feel like prayer is supposed to be like maybe in a church setting, you organize yourself, you come to a certain place and you pray. So, but you talked about how, you are lying down and praying. So tell us more. Is prayer just this thing we have learned in our head that, prayer is maybe you kneeling down, being there and in a presence? What are maybe the different ways we can pray?
That's a really very, very good question. Our theology, for every person has a form of theology. You don't have to first go to theology school. Yeah, but whatever kind of entrance you were introduced to religion, it sets the way you think about things. Like for me, of course, I have a background of Sunday school, and then that background of Sunday school is channeled into, at a very young age, into Islam. Then Islam actually forms my basis of prayer. And Islam forms my basis of prayer based on routine, based on discipline, and so that becomes my way of prayer, and I begin to carry on my life like that, of where I have to be praying at a specific time, and religiously at that particular time, without missing. So that's what many people end up having, whichever way. Whether it's just a Sunday for a normal child who just goes to church every Sunday, because Islam teaches you to pray every day. So maybe Christianity in a normal 5 times a day, maybe Christianity in a normal religion setup teaches you to pray once a week. So whichever way, you find your struggle there. But when we transition from all that and come into relationship, then it totally changes.
Okay, the relationship. Wow, that is amazing. But Pastor, I would want you to continue enlightening us, because I think what is the boundary? Because now also as Christians, when we've entered the relationship, I can just find myself maybe I just have a little conversation maybe as I'm walking, but if those conversations, you could get distracted, you could get but I know that as long as I'm communicating with God. So do we have to think about all these things, like the atmosphere you're praying in, and what is going on at the back of your mind? I don't know. Tell us something.
So when you enter into relationship with God, then your prayer life begins to change based on that relationship. As a man who was nurtured a couple of relationships, and a relationship with my wife, that my fiancée, then or my girlfriend, then that heads into a fiancé, then heads into a marriage. I have learned that at every one of those levels, there were deeper conversations that started to stem up. But one of the things that happened is that I started to long for a time to be with her. So in our concept of relationship with God, he tells us we are the bride maid, he is the bridegroom. So the bridesmaid begins to long for the bridegroom, and begins to long for every second they can be with him.
Now, so then that forms the culture and the relationship and the idea that I can have this anytime. It's love, it's things like that. There are tickles, etc. And there were times I would really, just be there, and I feel like the Lord is calling me. And this is like I'm just months into the Lord, and I can just be there, eating a meal, and I just feel like He is calling me, and I literally just get my food, pack it, and just go behind a container. That was a normal place for me to go to pray. And because again it answers the distraction, so it was a place that was hidden, secret. So I like to just go there and meet my Father. But when prayer begins to, especially when you begin to add on a few months and years as a Christian, then there are seasons you're going to go through where the Lord is not calling you. Not necessarily that He's not, He's always calling us, but the idea is that there is no, you prayed last time and you didn't feel anything. So there is nothing that is exciting to take you there. So that's what brings us to the next phase of our lives, is that then we have to practically take ourselves back there.
Wow.
And this is where the discipline comes in, and this is where many Christians, their prayer lives never get to this point, because they never bring, like, it's only discipline that can bring you to this far in prayer. Yeah, it's discipline that takes you beyond the emotions. So I do not have to feel anything to go back to the prayer the next day. I don't have to sense anything. I don't even have to hear the presence of God. Yeah. So because I have disciplined myself and I've made this a routine for myself. So I would say an effectual prayer, the fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. For a prayer to be fervent and effectual, it must be done timely. It must be done on a routine basis. Yeah, and I mean, I've had people say, for me, my routine can be once a week. Okay, that's good. Yeah. But there's what once a week will give you, and there's what daily will give you. Now, once a week won't give you the same results as a daily prayer. Okay. Yeah. So regardless of what your routine is, even when you come down to the time, and then to what time you're choosing to pray, etc. So anyways, I don't want to go over the place, but that's it. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. That is so good. I love the discipline part, because I think as Christians, that's where we struggle. Yeah, with that discipline. And also you talked about something which is about the emotions, because sometimes it feels like I don't feel like praying. So,
right.
Yeah, but you have to. It's not something, you've said that it's not something about emotions.
Let me tell you what would happen in the mosque. You pray at a particular time. Yeah. So sometimes you'd have to wake up just to pray and then go back to sleep. Or sometimes you have to walk out of a meeting just to pray and then go back in the meeting. I have driven on highways, and you find these guys who drive trucks, big trucks, you find them walk like literally on the side of the road praying. The guy has stopped a truck because they are disciplined to pray for that particular time. And you see, a man like that is exercising themselves in the realm of the spirit a certain way. And a believer, you think you can just boom, just jump into this thing and walk into it. Yes, we have the grace and all those things, and I love them, and I only came to realize that can only bring me as far as my emotions took me. Again, I'm going to say that because that's quite important. If our prayer lives are based on emotions, so your prayer life will only take you where your emotions can take you. Now that's a very limited place.
Wow.
Because there are places your emotions can never take you in this thing. But discipline will. That's why Paul says that I discipline myself daily so that I do not miss the mark. Now that there's a place I want to go to, that's why I need discipline. That's why I need to exercise myself. but emotions won't take me there. Feelings won't take me there because they are on and off today. Today you feel like a zeal. I've been going through something. I was talking to my mother. My mom is, I feel like she's my role model of prayer.
Wow.
Yeah, she's modeled a life of prayer. I've actually really, this is the first time I think I'm even making this statement. Yeah, but my mother is my role model of prayer. So normally when it comes down to things with prayer, I normally go back to her. So today I was telling her, Mama, I sense that in as much as I think I've been waking up because I feel like maybe the dogs are barking and maybe some thieves are in the compound, but when I wake up, then I am driven into a place of prayer. Yeah. So for this whole week, something just radical has been happening to me, and I'll explain something. So at exactly 1:30, for some reason, I am awake with a heart that's running like 1,000 miles an hour, like it's racing. So I'm startled, like, what's the problem? Like, and then the dogs are barking, etc, etc. And then I enter into my sitting room, and then I begin to calm down, and then I sense like, no, okay, is this really the Lord calling me? So I've used that to my advantage. What happened is that last week, thieves broke into our house and they vandalized my wife's car. So I've been kind of half awake, half asleep. So you hear dogs barking, then I wake up. But I told myself I'm not going to allow this thing to keep me awake. Then I'm going to transition it into prayer. So when I was talking to my mother about it, she's like, Moses, that's a grace. I was asking her, okay, what do you mean? She's like, let me tell you, there are times you're praying, you can just wake up in the morning and have like 2 hours of quality time before the day starts, and you can't. You push your body and you can't. But for you, what, like 1 a.m., you're not even waking up yourself, the alarm is not going on. Yeah, something is waking you up. Yeah, then I was like, okay, you know what? I think it's angels walking in my compound. And then they wake up the dogs, and then the dogs wake me up, and then we are all up. Yeah, so, anyways, yeah.
Wow. Thank you very much, Pastor, for this episode. I know we have very deep things coming up, so I want us to even end this part 1 right here, and we shall be back with part 2. We have to come from a place of asking and go into a place of seeking. Yeah, Pastor emphasized that there are some things we shall never find unless we get to this place of seeking. And also, most importantly, the place of knocking, whereby it's no longer about what you are concerned about, it's about what God is saying to you. May we all desire to get to that place. Do not condemn yourself. Don't worry, maybe you have been at that place personally. I've been at places where I'm praying, but my mind is racing. But I know we are moving from that place and going to those deeper places where we shall have quality prayer. The most important thing is quality prayer. Don't miss it.